Thank you for making the second version of the Reseller Club Hosting Summit a grand success. All of you guys sitting here, all the other guys busy with the exhibitors who don't want to listen to me, I'm really happy all of you all could make it. Honestly, like she said, the party that we're going to have tonight, right? We did this last year as well, and it was a fantastic party. We've got a lot of performances lined up for you guys, a lot of entertainment lined up for you guys, a lot of free alcohol lined up for you guys. And this is, this is Delhi or close enough, right? I mean, you guys know how to party, so we really look forward to having you over there as well. Let's actually start off with the presentation, and I have a bad throat, so in case I'm squeaking a little bit, I'm sorry about that. Right, so kick-ass marketing strategies for web designers and hosts, right? Before any sort of presentation that we're going to make, there's one goal that we try to put forward, that let's go out there and let's try and contribute and add some sort of value to any conference that we're basically speaking at, and make sure that there's something that people can take back from our experiences, right? And this was really the goal when we sort of started thinking of what we should be talking about this year, or what I should be talking about this year at RCHS, right? And let me tell you this. So I work as general manager and business head for Reseller Club, also on the Reseller Club Hosting Summit. And my job, to put it across very simply, is to figure out how you can make more money. So it's a chain reaction, right? Because when you make more money, right, Reseller Club makes more money, my vendors make more money, my boss makes more money. If my boss makes more money and he's happy about it, he probably gives me a little more money as well. So it's crucial for me to try and make sure that you make more money, right? Now, before I start off with with these marketing strategies that I wanted to talk to you guys about, I just wanted to cover an overview of the Indian market. I think a lot of people have done this. I think Manish has done this, Bhavan's done this in previous presentations. A lot of people keep talking about the Indian market, right? And I'm going to just breeze through some of these slides very, very quickly. So the internet in India, according to reports that we've understood, read, studied, has basically crossed about 164 million internet users this year, all right? If you apply Comscore's methodology, which is how many PCs and laptops are connected online, then that's about 75 million, right? We're expected to grow to over 200 million by 2014, and today we're the third largest internet-based economy, all right, or rather internet-based population in the world. And we've overtaken Japan just this year, all right? So this is what India's internet user base is like. Couple of other stats. In terms of domains and the number of domains that are hosted, India has about 4 million domain names that are registered by Indian registrants across GTLDs, CCTLDs, and this is some amount of background research that we keep doing from time to time to be able to gauge these numbers and figure out what these numbers are like. Out of these 4 million domain names, we've got about 2.5 million domain names which are actually hosted by Indian registrants, whether on US servers, Indian servers, US providers, Indian providers, but the owner of those domain names are Indians. By 2015, we're expected to hit 6 million domain names and about 3,750,000 domains hosted, all right? So this is what we believe this market is going to grow at over the next couple of years. Now, this is another interesting stat, right? And this purely comes from a lot of clients that we ourselves have, a lot of clients that we interact with who are designers, web hosts, etc. But India is set to have about 70,000 designers all across the country, all right? And there are 400 startups / designers / developers that crop up every month, all right? Now, another interesting fact, right? I think the number of SMEs that exist in India has very, very different ranges when it comes to the sort of studies that you see. But I'm going to be I'm going to take the slightly more optimistic approach, though I've tried to sort of meet a lot of different studies midway, but I believe there are about 40 million odd SMEs that exist in India today. All right, 40 million. And another 2 million doctors, lawyers, and CAs. And I'll tell you why I'm talking about doctors, lawyers, and CAs slightly later on when I cover some of the strategies. Now, this addressable market that I was talking about, right, the addressable market in India is being addressed in this fashion. So you've got these customers who are these SMBs, lawyers, doctors, etc., right, who primarily go to their web designer, all right? Now, that web designer either goes to a web host to pick up his products, his domain names, his hosting packages, etc., or he goes directly to a registrar/host like Reseller Club, all right? This, to me, based on my experience with Reseller Club, interacting with thousands and thousands of clients over the last 8 to 10 years, is what a typical buy flow is for any Indian customer. How many of you guys agree with me? Hey, you can put your hands up, no? Okay. All right. So this is what we believe the flow is like, right? Now, oh yeah, did I mention that you've got 42 million addressable entities in India, all right? And we're saying that only 6 million domains will be registered by 2015. I've been asked to tone down the number because I'm quite optimistic from time to time, so I tend to overcommit sometimes, so I'm going to stick to 6 million, but I personally believe that this number could be even higher. And we haven't even considered these guys, right? I'm just talking about SMEs, lawyers, etc. I haven't considered like some of our fictional characters like Ba, who's on Facebook today. I haven't considered Muchhat Panwala, all right? I haven't considered this guy as well. All right, these guys are also getting on the internet. This is India for you today. Now, coming back to the buy flow suggests that they will always tend to go to a one-stop shop, a web designer, and say that, listen, I want a website, what can you do for me, right? Now, yes, so they will come to you unless somebody else gets to them first, all right? So the idea behind this entire conversation is to discuss with you guys different strategies where you guys can be more proactive. Forget word of mouth. How many of you guys rely on word of mouth for your business? More hands going up, thank you. So that's the thing, right? A lot of you guys today rely on word of mouth when you have so much more potential to do so much more on the internet or with your domains and hosting business, with your web design business. And the thing is, if you don't, somebody else is going to go to them first and tell them that, look, I can give you all of this. And you've lost potential customers who want to get online, right? So you need to act fast, all right? And finally, coming to the kick-ass marketing strategies. Before I get to that, what's so kick-ass about it? You are the most kick-ass component about the marketing strategies that we'll discuss. And why do I say that? Because you speak the customer's language, all right? India, by the way, is in many ways you can't consider it as one single country. I look at it as 25 different countries with 25 different cultures, with 25 different languages and whatnot, right? Now, can any large player go out there and try and make sure that they cover all of them? It's not possible, all right? From time to time, these guys are going to come to you because you can speak that language, you are the closest to the customer, and we know an Indian customer's mentality. He wants to go to somebody who's right near his office or right near his house because he can catch the guy, right? If you guys suffer from downtime, he's going to come over there, bang your door and tell you, hey, what the hell, right? And that's where David's SLAs come into play as well. But yeah, you're in complete proximity of the customer. Customers want websites. They don't want domain names and hosting, right? So they're not going to go to large players who say, get a domain name, get a hosting package or things like that. They'll go to the web designer and tell him that, look, I want to build a website. At least that's what's happening today, right? So again, who's the most important mix in this entire picture? and nobody can provide the service that you can. How many of you guys give your customers your cell phone numbers? There you go. Why do you think a large company that is, that's going after domain names, hosting packages, etc., because they obviously can't do what you're doing, can actually do that? Can the owner of a company actually do that? They can't, right? They can't do that at all, but you guys do, all right? And nobody can service them the way you guys can. So anyways, before I get down to the different marketing strategies, and a lot of them are interlinked, by the way. A lot of them have a base and flow from that base. But the two most important goals that at least I follow whenever I consider marketing is that A, it should get you more users or more customers, and B, when you have those customers, you should make sure that you're making as much money as possible from those customers, right? How many of you guys look at your marketing in this perspective? That let's get more users and let's get more money out of every user. Great, right? And let me tell you this, whatever I have put down over here, all right, is something that I've actually learned from a lot of my clients, from a lot of the clients that I've interacted with, from a lot of clients that I've spoken to about their ideas, about what they're doing, what they've already done, what they've done and gotten done with as well. All right, and there are so many people where I absolutely tend to respect them and say that, wow, these guys are doing so much business and they're doing it in such a cool way. And then there are guys who have so much potential who are actually not making the most of that potential, right? So I feel that all your marketing goals should first of all be structured into increasing users and increasing revenue out of every single user, right? Now, let's actually break this presentation up into kick-ass ways to increase users and then subsequently in terms of how do we increase revenue out of users. How many of you guys do this? How many of you guys look at specific verticals? What I mean by specific verticals is how many of you guys look at all the doctors in Delhi and say that let me go and target them? That's what I'm talking about, right? So this had the fewest number of hands raised as opposed to any of the other stupid questions I asked. I keep asking these questions, I'm sorry, but it just makes it fun to sort of know and get instant feedback from you guys. But anyway, so I think one of the most important and most amazing ways to actually increase your users is by making sure that you have a single or a very, very dedicated focus towards the sort of audiences that you're actually catering to, right? So you can become a specialist for doctors, lawyers, wine shops, or any other form of SMB or verticals, right? You should focus on specific city or cities or an entire area, all right? And offer tools and services that complement these factors, right? So let's say if you're going to if you're targeting all the call centers, right, in a specific city, you've got how many ever call centers that exist, and you basically want to make sure that you are helping them set up any sort of online presence that they might need. Now, they might not need a website to be redesigned or to be designed from time to time, but they might require heavy-duty VPS packages for their CRM solutions, right? And if you can basically figure out a mix over there, then you're actually looking at a very, very focused approach towards converting a lot more people. So targeting verticals, according to me, can help you in increasing your focus, understanding your target group, and creating a distinct proposition within the market, right? Fact, all right? Resellers or clients of mine that I know of that target specific verticals have actually had a higher conversion rate by over 15% as compared to those guys who are not really looking at a specific vertical, who are looking at anybody and everybody that wants to get online, all right? 15% of your business can just increase by doing something like that. Provide a greater amount of products and services. I mentioned this in terms of tools that could be offered, etc. But obviously, your checklist should be a website, the domain name and hosting package, which I hope you buy from us. No, not funny. I'm from Bombay. I crack a lot of stupid jokes. I hope you guys find them funny. Sometimes just laugh to motivate me. It'll be fun. All right. No, I'll stop there. I'll stop embarrassing myself. Anyways, also better email, enterprise versions of email. You guys have been buying a lot of shared hosting email, etc. A lot of people today are looking at a slightly more serious email presence, so targeting them with better email products, VPSs and dedicated servers wherever required, and like I said, other tools and services that specifically fit into verticals. All right? Anything that needs to be built for verticals is something that you should be building or offering depending on the verticals that you're targeting. 89% of consumers and SMBs buy their online needs from one provider. All right? Except for you guys, because you all buy hosting from all sorts of different places. But 89% of the customers, all right, that come to my clients tend to buy all their stuff from one single provider. So are you making sure that you're targeting a vertical and you have everything for that vertical? Online marketing. So some of the concerns that I've had with online marketing when I've discussed this with my clients is that you probably might be already focusing on SEO, SEM, SMM. How many of you guys do a lot of SEO, like a lot of heavy-duty SEO? Great. And which keywords are you looking at? Web hosting or get a website? How many of you guys optimize on things like that? Get a website, web hosting? You guys do, right? How many of you guys feel extremely challenged in trying to always rank right on top for some of these keywords? That's my point. There's a lot of clutter out there. Every single hosting company that can afford to spend millions and millions of dollars or put hundreds and hundreds of people on this process will do that because we know it's effective. We know people search for these things and then they click on links that are available, right? But everybody can't get there, right? There's a lot of clutter over there. All large hosting companies are actually doing the same thing that you guys are, right? And your brand will probably be lost over there because there will be that much clutter. But what can be done is again focus on verticals and then look at optimizing your online presence, right? Look at SEO, SEM, SMM targeted towards doctors for medical searches and browsing, right? Have you tried doing that? That if you feel that there are keywords that specifically might be searched by doctors, why not provide him information over there about how he could build his website? How many people are targeting from an SEO perspective on that? Far fewer hands, right? No large providers actually focus on this till date. So you have a window of opportunity before you have a lot of these other providers, some of them who are out there, including us, maybe not us because we still focus on you, actually doing something like that, right? Because we're not after the verticals, we can't be after those verticals, you can. And it also helps stand out from the clutter because if a doctor is not searching for a website, all right, but he knows that there is this one provider who's telling him to get a website, he will remember that far better than if he's searching for a website and he has hundreds of providers. Simple math. Location-based and targeted SEO and SEM efforts have proven 10x more effective than generic keywords. And this is stuff that we've tried or we've seen with some of the providers we've worked closely with. Some of you guys who raised your hand saying that yes, you all do something like that, you all could probably at some point in time share with me, maybe after this discussion, how it's worked out for you guys. Other promotional efforts, I'm just going to name two over here. The first one is direct marketing to verticals, and the second one is a feet on street model. So in terms of direct marketing to verticals, right, just ask yourselves the questions that I've put on my slide. Have you ever tried targeting all the dentists in Delhi? Have you ever tried giving them a concentrated value proposition? A lot of people talk about this whole unique selling proposition, right? I think there's a lot of change that's taking place over there. I believe more in a concentrated value proposition, which sort of is in line with what I'm telling you guys, that focus on verticals. I think even if you're offering the same stuff, but you're telling a consumer that, look, I'm focusing only on you and people like you, there's a huge value over there for that consumer because your credibility has been enhanced over there drastically because he feels that, okay, this guy knows what I'm like. He knows what I can do. So I'd rather work with him, right? Have you tried giving them an online scheduling system for their patients, right? So some sort of a system which allows them to basically set up all their appointments online, allows them to send automatically email reminders or SMS reminders, all right, through the system. right? Wouldn't a dentist actually need that or find that extremely useful? So yeah, how many of you guys have tried doing this? Has it worked? Thank you. At least 4 clients that I know actually have over 100 paying customers in 4 months by actually doing this. We've actually worked with some of our clients because we've got a bunch of other programs where we're looking at sort of funding marketing efforts for resellers. And if you want to know more about that, I could talk to you about it at the booth. I don't want to discuss Reseller Club specifically over here, but we actually have a few clients that we've worked with who are hardcore web designers who've gotten over 100 clients doing just this, focusing on verticals, focusing on online marketing for verticals, focusing on direct marketing for verticals. The feet on street model. How many of you guys have tried a feet on street model where you go door to door for, in an area or within a vertical, and you'll basically, explain to people why they need an online presence, why do they need to get online, and then actually, make a sale over there. See, everybody's not done everything, right? Great. How has that worked for you guys? Thank you. Thank you. The gentleman said, over there said he's got 5 extra websites in a month only by doing this additionally over and above his existing business. So why not try something like that? Why not try deploying people and training them on how this needs to be done and getting them to actually explain that and do that with verticals again. Becomes a lot easier. Conversion rates can go up. Your sales staff know exactly what to pitch. They're far more efficient in doing that. So we actually, internally sort of covered this, area of Nashik, Pune, and Mumbai. And what we basically found over there is that more than 50% of SMEs within this survey, all right, want to get online. And this was obviously a survey done within people who are not online. They want to get online, but they just don't know how to get it. They don't know how to get their website. They're procrastinating. They're like, I'll do it later. I don't know how much it's going to cost me. It's going to cost me a bomb. And it doesn't, right? You guys actually offer these products and services at the most competitive rates. I mean, if you were to actually go to the US, you'd probably be charging 10x of what you guys charge today for web designing services. And that's pretty much because of the competition that exists. That's pretty much because, there are a lot of people out there who have the potential but are not willing to spend that money. So you guys basically are aggressive with your prices. Payment methods makes a huge difference. In fact, I'll tell you what. I was just discussing this with, with a couple of our exhibitors outside, right? And I'm going to give you a slightly more broader study, but this applies a lot more to you guys, right? So, when we started doing business in China, all right, we were doing well. We had local staff, we had, a local website, etc. And we actually, increased the number of customers that we got from China by about 2x, all right? We didn't, however, have this one payment gateway at that point in time called Alipay, which is an online payment gateway used by Chinese people. It's the most popular payment gateway used by these guys. The moment we actually integrated that, our sales actually went up to 30x. 30x of what we were doing in China, we started doing only because of one freaking payment gateway. Now my point over here is that are you offering all of these payment methods? Are you making life simpler for your customers to pay you? Right? Checks, cash on delivery. How many of you guys have tried cash on delivery? Like Ghar Pay, etc. Yeah? Great, great. Net banking. Net banking, how many hands? Great. Credit and debit cards, PayPal. I think PayPal might be an issue, but a lot of you guys can get accounts from time to time. Facts. Those are not fact, it's facts. Credit card transactions have risen by a compounded annual growth rate of 19% last year. All right. India is in your top 3 fastest growing countries in mobile and internet banking. All right. And cash on delivery, as you guys yourself have pointed out, is touted to be the best payment method for the growth of any sort of e-tailing business in India. So you have users now, all right? I've covered what, so here's the thing, right? like I said, a lot of this I've learned from my clients, but over the years in trying to ensure that you guys can make more money, I've also fantasized about my own reseller business. What would it be like if I were, running my own domains and hosting business, or my own web design business, or my own online presence business, right? And whatever I've put so far is stuff that I would literally do myself. I would make sure that this is how I'm running my business. So whatever I'm sharing with you is honestly just, they're all genuine points that I believe can actually help you guys grow. And the fact that you aren't doing a lot of these these things, right, actually means that you should at least try and experiment with some of them, all right, and see how your business can grow with some of these aspects. So now you have users, let's get on to the kick-ass ways to increase the average revenue out of every user, right? The theme when we were looking at getting new users on board was targeting verticals. I think I've said it so many times, it's probably ingrained in a lot of your heads. Now the theme for increasing revenue from every user is stay engaged. All right, now what do I mean by that? First of all, create an account management theme. So you get clients in, all right, now these clients would require quality service. You've got 24/7 support, but have you ever tried to set up a team which only focuses on this, on continuously discussing the performance of the customer's online presence? Like, how's your website doing? How much traffic are you getting? Oh, you don't know how to track how much traffic you're getting? Why don't we help you put up analytics, right? Understand the customer's business, all right? Constantly suggest services that could be added to the account, right? Because if you're understanding his business, you're understanding how his online presence is doing, then you're the best person to consult him, right? Build a credible and reliable reputation, obviously, and ensure that your customer never leaves you. And I'll tell you why that works, right? Because for Reseller Club, and there is no disputing this fact, Reseller Club considers its account management team as its most valuable resource. Provide true value. If you're targeting specific verticals, you might want to also look at providing newsletters, informing customers about industry-specific news from time to time. Again, it increases your credibility. It makes sure your customers know what you know, and you know the fact that you know a lot about the market. And you can also use this information from time to time to cross-sell other useful products. So just inform them that, look, there are all these things happening within your industry. I've got a bunch of things that could help you in you growing your online business. Fact is that service providers have established themselves as thought leaders by simply passing on quality information. Now, I'm not trying to blow my own trumpet over here, but what is the Reseller Club Hosting Summit? It is a medium for you to come, gain more information, meet more people, and we are extremely happy to be the guys who can actually enable this for you guys. And we believe to some extent, we've been able to increase the amount of interaction we have with you guys. So the amount of conversations we have with you guys and learn from you guys as well, and to some extent become those thought leaders. Increase adoption of added products and services. Again, you might have customers who've just got their website. Now you have their entire lifetime with you to pitch other products and services, right? A photographer might want to set up a hosted application to display his work. A call center might need a VPS solution. A chemist might need a simple yet effective inventory management system. Top hosting companies today earn more than 20% of their revenue through value-added products. I can tell you this is true with Reseller Club. I can tell you this is true with all other hosting companies out there. Go ask them yourself if you don't believe me. Another fact is that as a designer or developer, you could literally double the amount of revenue that you make through these techniques. How many of you guys act as domain portfolio managers for your customers? People who are very serious about their online presence, don't want to lose out on domain names, do squatting, etc. Why don't the rest of you guys try doing that? Learned this from conversations with you, from conversations with people like you guys, where people can make over 500% of what a domain costs just by actually charging that premium and saying that, hey, listen, I'm going to provide you your complete online protection. How many of you guys or your customers have received this weird ass spam that goes out saying that, hey, listen, you've got, let's say, Sridhar.com, and we've got a customer who wants to purchase Sridhar.hk, Sridhar.cn, Sridhar.au, and God knows what not. But we're holding on to that because we know you have Sridhar.com. So why don't you tell us if you want to take all of these others, or should we give it to them? I know that's spam. I know, that's not right. But at the end of the day, how many of those customers called you and told you, what do I do now? Exactly, right? So why not actually make this a legitimate business and say that, look, I'll protect your online identity. You want it, I'll give it to you. And this is a premium that I charge for it. If not fear, then ambition for sure, right? If it's not the fear factor that will compel him to do this, it's definitely the ambition of growing, of being a large enterprise, of being somebody who wants to make sure that his online property is completely his. Enterprises and medium-sized businesses, like I said, can pay a premium of 500% of what your domain names cost for a service like this. Now, customers need to redesign or at least need a mobile website, right? So, does the website you design need a change, right? So, what was good in 2002 is actually laughed on today from a website perspective, that how outdated is this website. Sometimes what was there in 2012 is also actually laughed upon. All right, because things change very, very fast. Today, less is more, responsive design is important. Yesterday, none of this really existed. How many of you guys knew about responsive design in 2010? Or some other older time, but tomorrow, none of this might matter because there might be newer stuff that comes up, which means that you need to keep innovating or keep looking at innovation and going back to your customers and saying, look, this is what websites are looking like today. This is what consumers prefer today who might be visiting your website. So let's look at a redesign. Let's actually give them something more than what you're currently giving them. The concept of design keeps changing, so should your customer's website. And I can tell you, even with Reseller Club's website, right, I think we've been slightly slower on the curve because we've just, we've done like overhauls of our website maybe 3 or 4 times in the last 6 years. In fact, I keep telling the marketing team that we should do it even faster. We should make sure that we're constantly innovating and coming up with better design for our website so that you guys like it. The most important aspect to get more users and revenue out of each user, out of them, is you and your brand. All right, that's what I'm going to literally end with. I think that I can talk about increasing users, I can talk about increasing revenue out of every user, and I hope that some of this has been insightful to you guys. But at the end of the day, you also need to make sure that the brand that you have is an extremely strong and credible one, all right, so that your conversions become a lot easier. In fact, I'll go to the extent of saying that a good brand, a solid brand, can actually sell much more than what 100 salespeople can for you, all right? So just a very quick recap. How many of you guys have so far gotten everything that I've said? Okay. Quick recap, since there weren't enough hands up. But target specific verticals, offer relevant products and services to those verticals, all right? Use online and direct marketing and a feet on street model to actually target these verticals more than just going after everybody, right? Get account managers to engage with clients, share good and relevant information with these guys, use that to convert those clients to other products, all right? Redesign sites and or build mobile websites, and be the brand that you deserve to be.